Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world. My name is Sean Driver, and we're back with the next edition of the Who Are You series, Do We Hate You, where we end up looking at teams in League Two and figuring out the history, the details, who they are, and just what teams are all about. So, Grimsby Town, you're up on Saturday, so let's get into it. Welcome to the Red Horde. I don't know why, but it just feels like it's been a long time since I've done a video like this, probably because I've been in different places. But in any event, we're back. Big changes for the watch party anticipated. So if you are looking to stop by, looking forward to it, if you haven't been there, come, feel free. We've got an in-bed chat. You can end up meeting people from all over the world. We've got 17 countries that have been represented. It's been continuing to grow and a lot of fun, but I was asked to make changes. I've tried, and unless there's tech issues, hopefully those are implemented. I'm gonna jump right into it. Grimsby Town FC. Who are you? The Mariners. Location. Well, Greater Grimsby, which interestingly enough, I've learned a new word, conurbation, which is where you take merging of separate towns into one geographical area. And so Greater Grimsby made up of three other market towns. You've got Cleethorpes, where the stadium actually is. You've got Immingham and you've got Grimsby. And they've decided, hey, we're going to be independent, but we're going to be together. Population in Cleethorpes, where the stadium is, 33,996. In Greater Grimsby, 88,136. The stadium that Grimsby plays in, Blundell Park, opened in 1912, renovated in 1995. Capacity 9,002. 6,279 people showing up on average last season, which put Grimsby 12th, right smack dab in the middle of attendance last season. Distance away from the racecourse, 167 miles, 269 kilometers. So that's about a 3 hour and 5 minute journey for those that are headed over to the racecourse for this one from Grimsby. The turnover, one of the lower ones, potentially surprisingly, in the League Two at $4,450,000 from Company's House. So trying to do a lot with a little is Grimsby. And they've done that. A little bit of an interesting history, perhaps, with Grimsby. I don't know. Danish history involves a Viking king, Havelock, who was a sole heir to the Danish throne, who ended up spending some time in Grimsby, met Grim. Grim became a fisherman. Largest port in England at the time, seaport, was in Grimsby. And yeah, so interesting history there. As far as the kit goes, just to take a look back in time, I don't know, what is it about the Northeast? Is there something about the black and white horizontal stripes? Because you've got Newcastle United is the obvious one that comes to mind, but Grimsby for a long time has had that black and white horizontal stripe, similar to Newcastle but with thicker lines. They've always kept sort of a blue kit, which makes sense. The Mariners, water, yeah, that makes sense. But then they've also had a red, and I don't know why the red, other than it's potentially in the crest. Their crest, three red fish. Tried to look up some badge history to find out if that was connected at all to the three market towns. Couldn't figure that out. It could just be, some people have talked about a connection to the three lions, and so they added three fish. Who knows? Could just be that the creator thought that three was better than two and four was too many. Who knows? But I don't have a problem with the kit. They've got decent kits, so I'll give it to them. As far as expectations for the season, bookies odds had them placed right in the middle of the pile at 12th, and that would make them a middle third club. Performance so far this year, well, they're sitting in 12th. 2 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss for 10 points. Just going back into their EFL Cup history, they were knocked out in the first round by Mansfield. Their EFL trophy, they've lost their 2 games against Barnsley and Man City's B team. They're not mathematically eliminated from the Pizza Cup, I guess, because of the way the point structure is, but they'll need a lot of help to be able to, they'll have to get 3 points and then hope for a lot of help in order to continue on the trophy. So they're basically looking at trying to focus on the league and whatever FA Cup magic they may be able to run with later on in the year. Looking back then at the league, 9 goals, which has them 13th in the league and squarely in the middle, but 6 against. That's tied for second best in the league, behind league leaders Gillingham and Barrow. So we've got a low-scoring team with good defense in Grimsby up against a high-scoring team that until recently, and perhaps some people would suggest the departure of Fozzie, a team that hasn't been able to keep the ball out in Wrexham until recent. So last 5 games, sort of the opposite of Doncaster. I'm going to suggest Doncaster had been playing well up until that last game. The last game against Doncaster, my personal opinion was both teams played horrible, but we were able to get an ugly win in that one. With Grimsby and their history as it sits right now, they've been fortunate when you look at the analytical stats as to where they're at with the number of points they've got. Just to go through things, they had a draw with Bradford away. Analytics say that was a fair result, but then they beat Gillingham 2-0 at home. The stats say that was a fortunate result, and it probably should have been a draw. They drew Walsall away. That was 1-1. The analytics say they were lucky there. Their expected goals per game was a whole lot higher for Walsall, and so lucky to be able to take away a point there. They drew Mansfield Town at home 1-1. That completely fortunate. They were expected, Mansfield Town was expected to be 2 goals higher on their expected goals in that game. Mansfield had 11 more shots and 21% more possession. So fortunate there. They beat Salford City at home 2-0, and Salford picked up a red card early. But even despite that, probably still lucky to get away with a win, because even with the red card, a draw was expected. So they've been lucky, according to the analytics. But I will say this, they have had a nasty schedule to start off with. They've played the top 3 teams in the league. So like we've said, solid defensively. Their conceded per match is near the top of the league. They've got a really healthy shot conversion rate, which probably makes up for their statistics being average generally as a team. They're not getting a lot of chances, but they're pocketing a lot of chances. And so if that continues, statistically you'd think they would normalize at some point in time over the season. But if they're able to continue with that conversion rate, they're going to be a dangerous team that may not get a lot of chances, but they seem to pop them when they get them. So stats for the season, just as far as how they play, they're a little bit more direct than us. Their direct speed, passes per sequence are nearly identical to us. So I guess the big difference is when they decide to go, there's slightly less passes, but they're up there in the same amount of speed. So last game against Wrexham, I'm going to deal with it exactly as the season 2, episode 1 of the documentary handled it. It happened. They won. That's that. Connections to Wrexham, not really much to go with. Ollie Palmer had 13 games with him on loan back in 2015, where he potted 6 goals in 13 games. Last season, their performance had them in 11th place with 16 wins, 13 draws, 17 losses for 61 points, so just below the 500 mark. They lost 9 of 13 in the middle of the season, and that was sort of their downfall as far as them being able to sneak into a playoff and promotion space. Their gaffer, Paul Hurst, he has been around a while for them. He's from Sheffield. He played 438 games as a defender for Rotherham United. Then he joined Grimsby Town after that and coached them in 2016 for promotion out of the National League up into League 2. He was then departed, and he came back in 2020 to try to save them from being relegated back into the National League, and wasn't successful in that instance. There's not a lot of blame put on him for that, and he hung around and got their promotion in 2022 when they advanced through the National League playoffs somehow. Team roster, look, this one's predictable. 6 players who have over 600 minutes on the team. Just by comparison, Wrexham has 2. That's Lee and Tozer. They're without significant injuries, no suspensions that I'm aware of at the moment. So we largely know what we're going to get, potentially with just a couple of changes in 1 or 2 positions where they've sort of been rotating through people. Up front, it's going to be clear. And I should say, from what I understand, they play a 4-1-4-1. And so their midfielders, forwards have been playing sort of in multiple roles, as some of their midfielders end up playing as left back, right backs, and some of their forwards end up playing on the left wing, right wing, up as forwards. So familiar name going to be said off the top as to the person who stirs the drink offensively, and that is Isa. This time not Mo Isa, who we saw in the MK Dons game. It's his brother Abo, 27 years old. He's had 619 minutes. Pace. That's what we had to deal with Mo. Abo plays a similar game, which isn't a surprise given their relationship. He's got 4 goals this year. He's been playing not the lead man up front, but more off the left-hand side. His goals per 90 is really, really high right now compared to where he's been statistically. He's only 27, but he hasn't been this high in his goals per 90 minutes. I think it's 0.6 just off the top of my head, since 2017, 2018, when he was leading the charge for Wealdstone in the 6th tier in the National League South at the time. Up front, and the person right at the front is Danny Rose, 29. He was with Stevenage last year. 627 minutes this year. He's got 2 goals. And so that the 2 of them have composed 6 of the 9 goals that Grimsby Town has put together. I'll admit this, Rose, from his statistics, has been awful to date. He's got the 2 goals, but he's only got 3 shots. His conversion rate obviously is high, but you'd expect the guy to be up at the front to be getting more chances than that. And I don't know if that's just a statistical error on footy stats, but I've not known to them to be wrong. Somebody who is with Grimsby is going to have to tell me how a guy with 627 minutes who's playing in the front of a 4-1-4-1 or a 4-5-1 is so low in shots. But you look historically, he hasn't had a lot of goals recently. 6 goals in 43 games last year. Before that, he had 5 goals in 75 games. He's not really racking up assists, and so I don't understand. He's probably going to have a hell of a game, because every time I seem to mention somebody who struggles, they end up stepping up and doing something special. I hope that's not the case, but that's Danny Rose, and that's the lead of the attack, and I guess that's why they only have 9 goals this year, is because their top guy, the guy at the front, isn't really potting them at any exceptional rate. Midfielders, we know what we're going to get. We're going to get at least 2 of the crew is going to be Harry Clifton, 25, who's played 629 of 630 league game minutes, and Conte, he was their last previous game's man of the match. He's had 619 minutes out of a possible 630 in the league. Just looking at Harry Clifton, the Welshman, his assists, the output's been there, but when you go through and you look at those passes, man, 76 out of 117 for a 64.96% pass completion rate. That's got him 9th percentile. Key passes, just slightly better than that. His crosses, he's had 1 successful cross of the 11 for 0.20, which puts him at the 53% rate, which I would suggest is probably only there because he's actually had a successful cross. So not really performing offensively, and nothing really stands out. Taking the FOTMob stats from Camille Conte, and I'm going to look at both here, because there's sort of a tale of 2 things with Camille, and I've gone over what, he's got room for improvement and seems to be getting better. But his successful passes, his pass completion rate, he's getting lots of opportunities. His pass completion rate isn't quite where he needs it to be, 45th percentile. He's only got the 1 out of the 5 crosses, which puts him in the 30th percentile. But his defensive stats are for the middle of the field are quite good. He's ground duels 77th percentile, aerial duels 83rd percentile, his interceptions 60th percentile, his tackle 99th percentile. So he's a guy who seems to be a little bit potentially more defensive midfielder than offensive, but he's certainly been able, it appears, to step up with some offense, and like I said, his game is growing. As far as the other option as to who you might get in the midfield, they've gone with Holohan, a 31-year-old who's got 454 minutes, but they've also subbed in or started with Vernham and Hunt, who could also make appearances there. But it's really anticipate it's going to be Conte and Clifton that are going to lead the charge. And again, you look at these and you think analytically, the numbers don't match up with what their performance has been. And I think that this is a club that's been saved by its conversion rate. They're getting chances, and it seems, other than in one position, that they've been struggling. And so let's take a look at that position, because my word, Harvey Rogers is a unit. 630 minutes in the league that he's played so far. He's been with Waterfall or Mar, but his D stats are something I haven't seen yet. This is team number 9, and I've looked at a lot of players. I've compared Wrexham also to him. Nothing like this. He blows everybody out of the water analytically, and it's what you normally see when you look at defensive stats. Is you'll see somebody who's good in the air but maybe a little bit bad on the ground duels, or they get a lot of clearances or interceptions. They're good at poaching, but they're weaker in another area. Not this guy. This guy's got solid green bars near the top on absolutely everything. Just bring these up, and it's nuts to look at. Interceptions 88th percentile in the league. Ground duels 96th percentile in the league. Aerial duels 98th 88th percentile in the league. He's not getting dribbled past. In fact, it's 0. He's got 93rd percentile in clearances, so 96th percentile in shots. He blocks shots. He gets balls. He intercepts passes. He'll get through it in the air. He's it. Like 26 years of age. That's something to see. So other than him, who are you going to get? Toby Malarkey, 627 minutes. He's got 2 assists from the back in the 95th percentile for assists in the league, which is pretty impressive, giving things. I don't know if that's from set pieces and he was able to get a header to somebody else who was able to pot it, or what the circumstances are. His stats are solid. Not nearly as impressive, but how could they be to Mr. Rogers? Aerial duels, 97th percentile. He's only been dribbled past once. That's 85th percentile. He's there with the clearances. So you've got 2 guys in the middle of their back line that do the job. And that's rather impressive to see. So we're going to have some work to do, especially considering how we've been approaching things. We're the opposite of Grimsby. We take a lot of shots, but we just haven't been converting on them. Who else could be there in the back line? Amos has had 432 minutes. Mars had 360 minutes. Nawa, who's been playing, and I may get that wrong, more recently, and also sort of on the midfield role on the right side of Malarkey. He could end up getting some minutes too. So that's where they're going. As far as the stats, let's just look at Amos. Again, ground duels, exceptionally good. Aerial duels, really well. So this is a team that's got the defensive stuff lined up. They're just struggling offensively and through the midfield, I would suggest, but they're being rescued and saved in many instances by finding the back of the net whenever they get those chances. The goaltending situation, they've got 2. They brought Cartwright and Eastwood in the off season. Cartwright being a local guy, he's just had the cup match to date. Jake Eastwood, 26, has been running the gauntlet, 630 minutes of 630 in League 2. I'm sort of surprised he's been entrusted as much as he has when you try to look at his stats. He had 7 games in 2021 while on loan from Sheffield United for Grimsby. 2022, last season, he had 8 seasons on loan from Sheffield United to Rochdale. Not really an exemplary track record, not a large track record. So to take him at 26 and say, we're going to give you the keys to the kingdom in the back is interesting. A bit of a gamble, but it seems to be paid off. Let's be honest, he's only faced 20 shots all season. He stopped 15 of them. And I should say save percentage that puts him at 81st percentile in the league for goalkeepers. That's not exceptional by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not horrible, and you'd have to think that his numbers are indicative of the play of the back line in front of him. 3 out of 7 clean sheets. Not a lot to say about Grimsby. We know exactly what we're going to get as far as prepping for them. Run the tape, because we're going to be seeing the same guys over and over and over again. I think there's a lot more questions as to what Wrexham's going to end up doing and who's going to be healthy, who's going to be in the lineup as a consequence. McLean coming back. Is Mendy okay? Is Mullen ready to run from the outset, or is he going to come off the bench again? Let's get into who do I compare them to as a North American club, just so that everybody has. Well, you're looking at a defensive stalwart. So who's that going to be? The San Antonio Spurs in the NBA, the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFL, the Minnesota Wild, the St. Louis Blues in the National Hockey League. That's sort of what you get. Still a team that competes. They're in it. They have the chance to win. They're going to be taking those low-scoring games and trying to eke out maximum points from it. And I think that's the type of game that you're going to be able to expect from Grimsby. As far as a food, well, they're the Mariners, and so it only makes sense. What are you going to call them? You're going to go with a tuna, because it's abundant, it's there, but there ain't no flash. We'll go with it. Scoreline prediction, what am I going to do? This is a home game. You want to take 3 points every time you get it, but I'm actually going to call this one a 1-1 draw. And I say that because the last 4 games that we've had, Wrexham has been struggling to find offense up front. Most of our goals have been coming from set pieces and those sorts of things. And in a game like this, where you're up against a team that's got strong aerial dominance in their back line, I think that's an area that we struggle with, because our set pieces won't be operating as well as we'd like. I think we're going to have to score from just the run of play, open play, to be able to get that goal. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to be able to see Boyle come up and pot one from the back, yeah, so we'll be back with the watch party. If you like this sort of comment, these sorts of videos, I'm gonna have to do the editing quick because I'm running out of time. If you like these videos, subscribe, hit the like button, get the algorithm gods on our side as they were. The big thing Saturday, whoever you're a fan of, even if you're a Grimsby fan and you're watching this, come in and join in, be cordial. Have a chat, get to know people, express your views. It's been fun. Hopefully it improves as the tech thing allows us to. I'm still working on a couple of other videos that are in the back, just running out of time. I want to be able to do the Sunday game, but we'll talk to somebody and see if somebody else can step in and cover that one, because I may end up with some family commitments Sunday morning. I thought it was going to be a 7 a.m. start, and it looks like it's going to be a 9 start, and that's probably not going to work for me. So we'll chat about that, but also you've got the video that Jed, thank you. I've said this to everybody. You've created this whole platform with the idea that everyone's going to get a chance. If you want to do graphic creation, production for the video, you want to make your own videos, you want to write, there's an opportunity for the fans to sort of not just share their thoughts within the watch parties and the chats, but share these videos and research what you want to do and come up with the video. So I'm thankful for Jed for stepping up and doing the first one. Have a look at his video. Let us know how to improve on that mid-table review, because I know he's excited to do it, and I thought it was awesome. So that's that. I'm Sean Driver. We'll see you Saturday, and this is the Red Horde. I'm talking to myself the whole time. Glitch error, technical glitch error right from the start. I'm hoping you guys... Anyways, I'm on mute, and it's going to be... The chat's going to be full of it now because I've got a 5-second delay. In any event, hi guys, I've got new toys, and I was hoping to identify what they all were. We've got the scoreboard up at the top corner there that's going to end up doing its thing. I can run the score up as far as we can go, and hopefully I'm able to keep track of that. We've got the shots there. I'm hoping that this streams and communicates all fine. As to the lineup, I'm stoked with what we've got. I didn't have Mullen starting. I had him coming off the bench. I thought maybe Dalby or Bickerstaff would get the run out, but hopefully, he's healthy enough and he's getting his shot. And so that is exciting news. The other injury news, Hayden, doesn't seem like his injury's that bad, which is amazing. That's as good as our back line's going to get. McLean, I wasn't sure if he's going to be starting because of the internationals, but he's out there. So that's great news. I will add that I do have a little one who had bad dreams, who's had to crawl into bed, and he's sitting here next to us. So you might end up hearing him occasionally through the broadcast. That's unfortunate, cute, awesome, what it is. And then the only other one that I was curious about was O'Connor. I was wondering if Evans would get a run out instead to start things, just because O'Connor didn't look himself in the last game, which makes you wonder what's going on. The chat stuff a little bit different, not going to be able to bring people in. I haven't figured out a way to do that yet, but things are looking up. Now to the bigger concern. Has anybody else been able to log into iFollow? Because I haven't. I've tried also the live commentary to see if I can pick up the audio. It says it's off air. I'm hoping that they jump on at some point in time and somebody's just hasn't triggered a switch. But it is what it is. Yeah, Kim, I'm with you with the Fletcher situation, as I thought that he came in for a purpose and was Palmer, I was questioning his performance recently, but you know what? Palmer and Mullen worked well together last year. Mullins just got back from injury. If Palmer had a step down and that's the consequence, and you attribute it to the injury and not a decline in Palmer's play generally, then I think you give him a shot, right? So iFollow is fine. I get a bouncing ball. You guys actually have the match? Because somebody else said that they had a bouncing ball as well, which would be concerning. I can try on a different source. I can log out, log in. But if you guys have the broadcast, then I may end up having a problem and having to bring somebody in a panic and figure everything out. Live text is not updated in 45 minutes. Well, I wonder what is happening. This doesn't seem to be a problem with me then. It seems to be a problem that a bunch of people are having. Updated, just watching it now. Uh-oh. Well, I'm not getting it, and I know that somebody else was, so I'm going to log back in and cross my fingers that that ends up fixing the problem. If not, I'm going to try it on my computer. Today's match. Bouncing ball. Let's say if IP blocked me because I do these watch parties, they would never do anything like that, would they? Let's try. On your phone is working. All right, well, let's get creative. Not what I was hoping to do first thing in the morning is get a panic in as to how I can watch the bloody match. See, I'm not lying. I get a bouncy ball. John's watching it on the laptop. Everybody's watching it somewhere. I'm the only person who doesn't have it, and I don't know if Brendan's here or what's going to be a very boring watch party if the person who's supposed to be watching can't load it up. I get the games previous, and I'm on my computer, on my laptop, on my phone. I'm not getting it anywhere, which makes me wonder if it's an IP thing. And I don't have a VPN readily available to test that theory, but I don't think that they'd be blocking me there. I'm just shocked that you guys have it. Jennifer's getting the bouncy ball. Maybe it's a geographical thing. I can hit the match pass. There we go. Watch. That's a new one. I haven't had that bouncy ball, but you're right. I've got it up now. I don't want it on that screen, so let's... I got it now. Just give me a second to get everything all set up where I want it to be set up. It's interesting that you had to go through the match pass. So if you're looking for it, you're trying to get through the match pass where you can say watch live in the match center, and for whatever reason it's not popping up front like it normally does. It's giving you another location. You might end up getting some feedback here for a second. Oh, now it's telling me. Last week, and it looks like you're right. I've got it all set up, and I apologize for the downtime and trying to get used to all of the new stuff that's going on in my world. I'm going to set that up there, and I've got everything where I need to be. It sounds like they've started. And this is the memorial match with the Greshford Colliery disaster. So I didn't know if they were going to do a thing, and if they're going to, I'm going to give it the respect that it deserves. 266 people passing away roughly 89 years ago. And annually, the club has a memorial game. And so today is that game. And so if there is a moment of silence, I'm going to recognize it as it occurs. And I'm hoping everybody hears. Thank you, Andrew. I'll just say, Michael, in the bottom left corner is Match Live Center. Click that and then open it up and it'll bring up the Grimsby game. And then over on the right, you can hit Live Center. And when you do that, you'll be able to access it. So if you're just joining, they're recognizing the Greshford Colliery disaster. And so I'm just listening and good on the club for doing that. It's one of the things that Mark Griffiths talks about in his recent Dragonheart podcast, was that the club has always been there when it comes to that tribute. When some members of the community, potentially looking at council, weren't there, the club was there. And I say not there. It apparently it took till 1982 for them to recognize that. And so, yes, Kim, you absolutely hit the nail on the head. Go to the Dragonheart thing. It starts at about 52 minutes, and they've got the summary there. So hopefully everybody's been able to find the match. I don't know, a little bit of a different trick on that one to be able to get into the background, but we're going to get started. And I need to start my clock, and hopefully then you guys can know. I know that there's already a 5-second delay at least to getting to you guys, but I can hopefully amend my thing. I've got a... Let's see if this works, and then I've got a scoreboard, and then I don't have to worry about anything, but I have lost the ability to pull the messages over. And I'm a little bit further zoomed in, so you get to look at my ugly face. So we're running, and the clock should be ticking away up above me, and I'm matched up with what's on my screen, and holy cow, that worked. So this is awesome. Just going back to the lineup, I don't know what your thoughts are on O'Connor, given his, he's given us so much. He's actually, well, I'm biased. He's probably my favorite player. So let me know what your thoughts are as far as what to expect here. No, that wasn't a foul. That was a flop, Mullen. I don't want to admit it, but that was a flop. This is a team that's going to be playing defense, defense, defense. The entire team plays defense, defense, defense first. And those are matches and games that I find frustrating as a fan, because my team tends to lose against defensive squads in every single sport I follow, which is why I predicted a 1-1 draw. I hope I'm wrong. Should just check in if you haven't been able to get in. Oh, Andrew's having issues. Jed's on truck. And if you didn't see, Jed created a video, which I thought was awesome. So we're at obviously 1 minute, 10 seconds. I don't even have to tell anybody. This is amazing. So Grimsby's changed their form. They're going with 3 in the back. Park the bus. Yes, Rexverse, that's exactly what's going on. And I did want to open up one more thing on my end. Oh, into the box from the right-hand side. Tozer, well done with a sort of a reaching back heel to get that away. Turns it, and Lee comes running up down the left side. Mullen, he's around into the corner, and the goalie comes screaming in. Could be a throw-in. Oh, Mullen's going to take it quick. And I can't see because they went to the replay. He got it in. They called it a brilliant idea. Hey, we'll take that. We're getting creative right off the hop here. Holy moly. I like what I say, this is a good start to it. Then I kind of get reinforced by Mark in my ears that sometimes maybe I do know what I'm talking about a little bit. .232 in. Hoping I can find somebody who gives me the score, or this long throw from Tozer. It's into the box and nobody there. Grimsby easily heads that away. A flop is a dive. Yes, Andrew. Another throw in from the left for Tozer. Long ball before maybe the defense gets set. Palmer gets it. Hayden, oh, he was just shy from getting it in the middle. Tied up, held, what do you want to call it. Not enough for a penalty, but a good play. Barnett. We're pitbulling it early, guys and gals. Barnett down the right. He's looking. He just beats like 3 guys. He's into the middle of the box. Barnett. Oh. Whew. Thank you, Dorf. This has been chaotic and madness to try and figure out. I'm not a tech guy, and so, but I got cool things where I can add features like even the shots if I can figure out where they are and I remind myself to get updated on what's happening. I am at some point when the play gets a break going to have to find a better service provider on the stat side, but Barnett's looked awesome. That was impressive. He had to beat 3 guys, came into the middle of the box, got a shot. Not a lot of room, not a lot of angle, not a lot of places to go. But interesting to me, possessions already 66-34% against us. But we've got the only shot of the game. Howard out of the box to save it with a long boot down the field. So we're starting to see, and I'm getting the sense this is Parky's mentality, and what the team's identity is going to be is that 10-minute press sort of early in the game where we get stuck into the game, get the legs rolling, and we're in that mode right now. Hayden just chipping it out down the left side to get it away from a Grimsby push. Sharon, welcome. This is normally where I'd bring in the chat and show it on the screen and say it's nice to have you here. But I can't do that because I've changed everything. You'll not know that. This is the way that you're seeing it. So I'm glad you're here. I'm going to sit back and relax. So just building it up 4.5. I don't even have to. I'm so used to having to announce the time that I don't have to do it anymore. It's already up there. Midfield, Grimsby missed that one, but they're able to collect it. Up through to the left-hand side. Hayden is there. We're up back. We've got our shape, but this is their first threat as they've got some possession in our lower third. Missed the pass, but are we able to get there first? Oh. Foul to McLean. And he gave him a card. I mean, I thought he got the ball. He did clear him out. I thought that maybe a foul was there. I actually thought that if I was McLean, the ball was so close to the end, to the sideline, I probably would have left it alone. I was surprised that he went and tackled him there. I don't get why you would do that. John is with me. But anyway, it's a free kick from the right side. Grimsby going right to left on your computer screen. Wrexham left to right. That one's in. Boyle with the header away. Is that Barnett chasing? Looks like it. Palmer just clears it out, and they're going to have a throw in from the left side. Interesting decision. I'm still going to question that at the 6-minute mark. Hard tackle, but hey, I am nowhere near the soccer player that James McLean is. That is for damn sure. So that one, just like the legal, oh, there's a flop and a dive. Good. The referee is not buying those. Let's be honest. We've done it on our end. Mullen, they just went down there. Every time Mullins gets it, there's people licking their chops. You could hear the crowd with the buzz, but we've got an extra shot there from Mullen from a distance. Not much of a threat on that one, but he's got that buzz going, that's for sure. So we get the ball. Luke Young nicks it. Hayden up to O'Connor. He's searching, and away we come. 400. We just hit 400 subscribers. That's the other thing is, oh, Mullen into the left-hand side. Palmer, deflected away. How was that for play? We're buzzing. McLean searching. Back to Lee. O'Connor coming to help out. O'Connor, he's going to go in and work with McLean. He gets it out. McLean got space for this cross. A little bit too far. Headed away, but we get it back. You know what? Can we just get unlimited cardio and just play like this for the whole 90? Barnett in. There's a deflection. Tozer bomb from the right. Let's roll with this. Holy jumping. And I will say, where I have a dispute where I see a shot and FOTMob doesn't update, I'm going to go with mine. Because Mullen clearly had a shot there from a distance, but it forced the save, and it's not up yet. Maybe that's just them. Long throw, short post, up in the air. Boyle over top. Holy cow. Yeah, Liz, and for everybody below, links down below if you've wanted to watch iFollow. We don't have the cheeky stream. And holy cow, I've got 3 more subscriptions. Is that just what I needed to do, was put the logo up there and see you, bud. And there goes the little one. He's up to start his morning. One of these days when he gets a little older, I'm looking forward to bringing him on these things and having a chat. Football season just starting for the little tykes here in Canada. The referee is not buying the flops, the fouls. Palmer staying down. Are they going to blow it down? The referee's just not buying it. Oh, they're actually signaling somebody in. We'll see what ends up happening here. I didn't think there was much in that contact. I'm interested to see a replay, but he's getting some treatment on his left leg, and Palmer's actually smacking the ground, so watching his left leg. I don't know. He was grabbing the back of his leg. No immediate pain, but he was kind of looking around. Who knows what's happening there? I was trying to read, Andrew, what we were talking about. Roddy Collins Jr. See, this is those circumstances where I just don't have enough depth in my knowledge to be able to share. So, Brendan, who I haven't seen yet today. I think this is the first watch party I haven't got there. Caesar! Hello, down in Argentina. And the other thing is, I'll bring this one up, is if you're new here and you haven't been here before, we keep track of where everybody's from. And so, if you, and now my ticker's not working. So if you are from a different state, different country, different wherever, and you're not on one of these lists, then let us know where you're from. I will follow along and put it there. I don't like to flop it even when it's us. Absolutely true. And just looking at you, that is Brendan. I don't have the same icons. Everybody's just by name now, so I'm used to recognizing people by their thing. New setup, new everything. Grimsby in on the right. That one's going to roll for a goal kick. Well done. Was that Mr. O'Connor? I enjoy this not having to mention the score because it's right there. Oh, see, FOTMob just takes some time to catch things up. We're at 3 shots. Mullen. Oh, weird take from the keeper there. Right foot high in the air to try to get it over Mullen, who was on the press. And are they just clearing? No, they're able to get it back into midfield. And wow, that was interesting because I think that one was more... So Lee had a tackle in the midfield and he came over and he actually got there late, unlike McLean in his challenge. Clipped the player, not hard, but got him up high and flipped him over. And there's a foul given, but no card. I thought that of the two, the Lee one was more of troubling. Kevin from Calgary. Hello. That's where my alma mater is. I went to law school in Calgary, so I've got a lot of respect for people who suffer the toils and tribulations of the winters in Calgary. And I'm glad you're enjoying it. Central Florida with Sharon, that's good stuff. Grimsby's got it at front of the box, able to sort of clean it up in garbage play where it kind of knocked around with about 3 players. Chipped into the box now, and here comes Howard. It's in his breadbasket. Clears it away. Howard he's got it up ahead. Mullen up there. Oh! You know what? Searching. So that was a long bomb from Howard. As soon as it got into his breadbasket, it was out of his breadbasket, and Mullen ended up getting around everybody. It was just that one bounce extra, too far. Mexico. I actually think that's a new one, and I'm going to have to write that down. I don't think we've had Mexico, so that makes it 18 countries. I'll have to update these at the end. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to enjoy the game. We'll collect them, but it's awesome to have you here, Miguel. Howard's got it out of his feet. We're running. I hope everybody's been able to figure out its iFollow stuff. I'm stoked about this whole setup. And even the cool thing, I don't have the alerts set up, and I might try that next time. That allows for updates to end up occurring. But it's down in the bottom this side. I do like getting that subscriber update because it makes me feel a little bit better. We've passed 400. I'm only 100 away. And I think I'm close enough in the hours that we can start to add some more bells and whistles, some polls and things like that. So it's just those little things. Did you get the map shot? I did, but I just haven't put it up yet, and I appreciate it. It's amazing. It's awesome. Not asked for. If you guys don't know, Brennan was kind enough to send over a gift, and you guys will see it soon. We're on a run. Oh, Mullen tried to get Palmer, but not able to get it up there. It's interesting. Possession stats, we're a little bit ahead on the expected goals. Possession stats, though, 64%, 36% as a moth flies in front of the camera. Swinish, is that Swindon? Is that the nickname we've gone with? Grimsby down the right, and they've earned themselves a corner. You know what? I'll give O'Connor credit on forcing that one out. He had to in that circumstance. So there, James was giving it. Not somebody you want to be giving lip to, then, is it, Andrew? The cough button. Nobody wants to hear me hacking in the morning. I just hope I actually turn the mic back on. That's usually my downfall. Swept in. Wow. That was there for somebody from Grimsby to take. It sort of missed the first wave, though, and Hayden cleared it up. Mullen looking for Barnett. Wow, that was a good ball from... Brilliant. Pulled it back. He got on the other side. Barnett, get it across. Nope, have a rip. Oh, we're okay. McLean was in there running. That was actually a really good play. Mullen looked like it was a dead play down that left side, didn't it? And he was able to search over the top. You thought he missed Barnett. Opportunity missed. He's just going to pull it back, gain possession, and all of a sudden he turns around and flicks it over everybody. Barnett's the only guy there to run up. And away we went, and then McLean was there, and I was hoping Barnett was going to try and find him, and it would have been a lob one side, lob opposite side. Didn't work out. So Tozer bomb from the right. Deep. Oh, Hayden is there. You know what? That's contact twice for us in headers from Tozer throws, so I will take that. Yeah, Kim, that's 60%. 78% for them. That probably explains the possession. I'm hoping as we settle in, because usually this is the part where we start to settle in and get some more shape, and we're not in the press, that the passing goes up a little bit. And I will say, just seeing that, Hayden's a little bit slow and a little bit wobbly there on his right foot there. And I said setting back and not pressing, and then here comes Luke Young like a madman down the right, and he almost got a steal there. I'm just watching Hayden because he didn't look comfortable there. Referee's playing advantage, and they're into the box. Hayden, he's got it away. Is he going to call it, or did he call Saudi Arabia? Hi, Rui. Is he? Oh, Boyle should have got a yellow there. Actually, as I see the replay, Boyle got beat and just turned around and bear hugged the guy to the ground. Played advantage. Grimsby had a chance, and then no call. Big kick. Howard, thank you, sir. We got Saudi Arabia stepping in. Is this all I needed to do, was set up some new graphics and people would end up joining? Lee, all the way through. Come on now. Couldn't get that over top, and so it's going to go out for a throw, and McLean's going to run over there and take it. I'll tell you what's interesting. I've never seen a team that's given zero attention to the throw-ins before. Grimsby's mentality seems to be, let's put everybody back. Park the bus means don't go out to the sidelines, maybe, because they are. We've had about 3 or 4 uncontesteds for throw-ins. Saudi's looking to poach, not players, fans, Kim, fans, and but I'm not going to make that joke. I think that's awesome that we have people from Saudi Arabia here. The window's closed. We all have humor. We're welcoming. I hope you get the humor. Luke Young down the right side, probably too far. Is it going to die? It is going to get there, and good for Mullen to get there for the corner. Brilliant. Mullen busting his hump down the right side for nothing more than just eking out a corner. Like, it's those little tiny things that you kind of have to give your applause to. So there's Mr. Reynolds, and if I can read his lips, he said, "Here we go." So maybe a prognosticator, maybe a gentle hope. But here comes the left footer. McLean, that was a good one. Punched away. Well done by the goaltender. And I'm just trying to... Lee. Up. Over. Offside. They called it. It's in. That was beautiful, but was that onside? I want to see the replay. I will take it. We're up 1-0. Let's get that score up for the first time. That was a long ball in from Lee, and the very first thing I saw when I saw everybody was there was no way we're onside. Because there was 2 of us so far past their back line that I was like, that's not going to be a thing? How is that a thing? That's got to be offside. But no flag. We've got it. Let's... We've got a goal against the defensive specialists. That's awesome. Show the wide view so I can see this. I refused to even get excited because I was so certain that that was offside. But as I look at it, they had one guy on their back line on the right-hand side that looks like he may have been a bit off. Whoa, I don't know. I think we got a gift. I think we got a gift. Because Rogers, I think, got back in time and put Palmer offside, but I don't care. That was a beautiful ball in. You are exactly right from Michael. Beautiful ball in from Lee. That's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. Really? That wasn't a tackle. He got into his upper legs. Grimsby with the cross. Hoo-wee. Palmer scored. And that's Parky's brilliant, right? That's what it's going to be chalked up as. I said at the start that Palmer probably deserved the right to get a run out with Mullen, and he got his run out with Mullen, and he's stepped up. I wonder if I can do this too. I don't think it'll work. I was trying something. I'm just going to see if it works. Can I edit that? No, I'm not going to play with it. I don't want everything to blow up. I was looking at seeing if I could get the scorers up on the one side. You say Boyle was offside but not sure about Palmer? Yeah, I'm going to... Oof, into the box. Blocked down, still in the box. O'Connor to the rescue, clears it up and just gets it out. Holy, my heart is beating. A little bit more than it should be. Jeepers. We need to score more offside goals. Yes. Every team will take offside goals. And what's interesting is it was Rogers who, I'm sorry, I have to give the guy credit. His stats compared to everybody else I've ever seen, including the Wrexham center backs, are insane. And he was down and out. Whether he was injured or trying to draw something, I don't know. But he got up and sort of eking his way back. The one time where he's not there in position, Palmer finds it, offside or otherwise. Hell, I'll take it. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Football Saturday mornings is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I do think tomorrow I am going to do the women's game as well. I don't know if I'll change the graphics up. I don't know if I'll have time to do that. I'm actually going to miss out on my little 20-month-old second ever soccer practice, but that's okay because he just runs around and picks up the ball and throws it everywhere, wherever he wants it. So still learning the rules of the game on that one. How do you watch it? iFollow is how you follow it. I'll bring the details up down below. You got to go to that website. You got to pay the $10 or the 10 quid, sorry. And that's the only way that you can do it. 25 quid if you want to do it monthly, 140 quid for the season. I don't know if they've given a discount yet. I should check that because usually partway through the season they'll do that. We're at 1-0 momentum, if you're following along on FOTMob, way in our favor, and we're on the left-hand side. I don't know if we're in Tozer bomb territory, maybe a little bit too far. They're thinking about it. No. See, just another uncontested throw-in. I mean, we played it all the way back on that one, but this is the first time where I've seen completely uncontested throw-ins that are in their lower third. Yeah, I don't like to look at the live table till the game is over because then I end up getting mad, Kim. Oh, and how do I delete people like that? Okay, this is the new challenge with the system. I've got to go to... O'Connor's coming through the middle as I figure everything out. Mullen, he beat a guy, and oh, just to the right. Ooh. I've got to go back to... Sorry, guys, just want to get used to how I do my thing and monitor and manage my space. And I thought I had this up, but I guess I did not. So just, and I hope I don't have anybody come in and almost did make it happen there. Made me panic as I look at my screen and I see it's frozen, but it's not. We're good to go. Long ball. We've been having a lot of long searching balls, more than normal, that have been going over top. But it's been, I wouldn't say it's keeping them on the back foot, that's for sure. And I think maybe you have to do that given how good Grimsby is defensively. I may have to do that at the half unless it goes completely crazy. So we'll leave that for now. 27 minutes. I want to enjoy the football anyway. And oof. Hayden with a good defensive play there. Just steady. I'll tell you what, we've looked good in the back. That's, even when it's on the ground, I don't like contact on the head, and that looked like that was into the back of the head. Long ball in for Grimsby. Ooh, lots of space there, and fortunately, I just went over top of him. You know what, Eric? It's interesting. I was reading the stories of us even after Grimsby scored that goal in the National League. Payne, whoa, nice back heel gets in for Grimsby. Fortunately, Howard's able to get up there, but we're sort of sitting back. But we took a collection and sent a bunch of money down to be able to help about disability fans to make it down to Wembley for that. Then they've collected a collection for us. And so there's as much as there's a rivalry. Wow, that was a nice little play. Back-heeled cutely by McLean. And McLean's given Boyle the business. Boyle, I don't think was expecting that to come back and around. That was a cute little play by McLean where he kind of stepped on it, back-heeled it, and it went around the defender to McLean, or from McLean to Boyle, and Boyle wasn't able to handle it. That's horrible, Andrew. I know that there was a shot. I know there was a shot. They might have them at 0 shots, but I know there was a shot because that's the one that Howard took the shot into his breadbasket, and you can't call that not a shot. And then he cleared it up to Mullen, and Mullen had that chance. So, sorry, Google and FOTMob and everybody else, you're wrong. Sometimes it does take them a while to load them up. I will say this, there's been 2 shots that I've missed. Just trying to get used to all the bells and whistles. And hopefully it gets a little bit better. The downside is not going to be able to bring in guests at the moment. I've got to figure out a mechanism to do that. It's pretty hard on my computer. So here we go, down the center of the field, coming up to 29 minutes. Barnett down the right side. Tozer right from the corner flag. This has been, I'm trying to think of a half that's better than this, where it's not just, you know, the Swindon comeback's always going to be tough to beat, but as far as not getting ourselves into trouble, playing solid defensively, cute, interesting little plays, the McLean one there, the Howard searching ball, there's the long throw from Tozer. It's there for Lee if he can't get there in time, but he plays it down, just nobody there in support. And then McLean comes up, right foot into the box. Header! What a goal! Holy Mr. Boyle. That, put it on his head. Serve it up for him. What? Holy. That. Okay, so kudos on Lee for knocking it down and messing up with that whole play. And then kudos on McLean for reading that there was an opportunity to get the steal and getting there. He wasted no time when he got the ball, kicks it with his left foot and put it right on Boyle's head, who's running forward to be able to take on that header. It was one of those low, mid, just in front of the box. God, that's gorgeous. That is, oh, baby. Give me these guys, this 11 all day. Little touch past him, jumps over top, no defender out there, left foot, Boyle's the only person there, hits it, and the goaltender's just sitting there praying as he's falling to his left that it's not going to go in. Oh, baby. Hayden, see, and it's everybody, because Grimsby comes out, gets their chance, they come the other way, they've got a bit of a threat, and Hayden ends up pulling this down. Nicked it again. Here we come on a run. Lee, oh, he danced himself. He outdanced himself. Gave it up. But he comes back. Tackle. Luke Young in there. O'Connor hustling. Bulldogs. This is Aboisa, though, on a run. Aboisa gets it picked, and away we come. The center backs are there. No direct play. This is the type of stuff that I want to see. Bring it all the time. I'm taking it. I'm loving this. So 33 minutes. They've now just starting to slow it down. It's fascinating to me. You see, look at the FOT mob stuff and the momentum. It's heavy us for the first half, and that's, to be fair, sort of what I expected. I know that we haven't had a lot of possession in most of our games, but Grimsby just plays so well defensively that I thought we'd be sort of running, we'd have more possession this game. I expected Grimsby to sort of search in a counterattack role, and they haven't been able to do that. Did we score? I got a big pretty sign that says we scored 2 times. That was, God, I can't even think of Palmer's header that was still a decent header, but that Boyle one that came over off the service from McLean was something else. And there we go, nicked the ball, turned it around. It's like we're just waiting to poach and put him on the back foot. McLean, he's looking, he's running to the box, he's dancing, he's searching, and we're going to get a corner. Oh, goal kick. It came back off of McLean. All right, I kind of saw that. Ha. Just waiting for Sandy to join, who's stuck in traffic. She might be actually listening to this if she doesn't have the audio. And so we can say hi to her from here. Missed a shot, which makes sense because it went into the back of the goal. Yeah, 7 shots, 4 on goal. I guess I could call just the on goal, but that's harder for me to judge live and in the game. So I'll just... Let me know if you guys have thoughts, by the way. I can get more creative with what's in the background, what's on the side, if you want extra graphics, because I can still go like this and bring in the lineup and chat through it this way if that's what we want to do, things like that. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Triple digits watching, 407 subscribers. All I needed to do wasn't my pretty face. I needed to do some graphics and things. I'm enjoying the little community that we've got. Dale, I was hoping to hear from today because Dale sent a couple of pictures from Wrexham and was down there, and I haven't seen him. I was hoping we'd be able to get the details and the stories of how that journey went. Soon enough, I'm sure. And the Wrexham community, like the Terry Fox thing that just happened, raised a bunch of money. There's people. There was a family that I just tweeted about that was out doing a 5K run to raise some money and sent a link out. And then I've got people offering when I come over to. I think there's about a dozen groups that are like, we just want to make sure you have a ticket. And I think that's awesome. Yeah, Brendan. No, I don't think that's the case. It certainly isn't mine, despite, I can't remember who said it, that I looked like Ryan Reynolds with the new cut. My wife disagrees. And she still prefers Mr. Reynolds. "36 minutes. I have not talked enough football, if you guys, for the last little bit. Grimsby sort of settled it down and had possession for an extended stay. They're still kicking it around in the back. Waterfall. At least we might be able to quiet up Grimsby a little bit if we're able to take this one home. Oh, long one, and who's there with the block shot? Hayden. Grimsby's now searching into the box. Oh, Tom had it, but that was a tough one to keep through the box. Dangerous ball. But they've gained it over on the right-hand side. So this is Grimsby now asserting himself. Right, whoa, sort of a volley. And you know what? Was that Mr. Isa? That was a good play. I know the shout from the crowd, hey, as he missed it, but that was a volley attempt from behind him with using his right foot. I do this for every match, assuming that it's on iFollow and I'm able to connect it, or DAZN. But I do this every match. I'm going to be here for the women's match tomorrow because that one's on S4C in Welsh and in English. And so for those of you not able to get to the Rock, that's a good one. Oh, Young trying to get up there. A little bit too stiff getting over the top. But yeah, just a little added commentary. Feel free to chat. The one thing I have to work on is I want to find a way to get these discussions out from the bot and on the screen when I want them here so that we can just chat about it and get a little bit more interactive. And then I also have to look up how to bring in people like Brendan or Jed, if you haven't seen his video, whoever to join, and we can end up having a chat just about the game. So Barnett down the right, some control from us. Things are good. One more shot. How come I've missed that? I clicked that one a long time ago, but it didn't go up on the board. I'll tell you what, the expected goals for, we're only at 0.4. Barnett, oh, that's a yellow. That's a yellow. That's a yellow. That's a yellow. You bet. So that was only a yellow because it was both a combination of the foul and a professional foul. Like Barnett spun him, put him in the wash cycle, turned around him and completely beat him to the inside. And as he beat him to the inside, he came back and swiped his leg out from under him. Was there any malicious intent or anything harmful in it? No. But yes, tickets are £3 for that match. And so I'm hoping that they end up selling out. I'm hoping that it's a great turnout for the S4C. I don't know. They've changed I didn't know the women's team that well anyway because I haven't streamed them. So bear with me if you do show up tomorrow because I don't know a lot of the players. And they've added so many. But, and yes, O'Connor is back to his regular form because last time in Doncaster, he looked rough. Oh, cleft one. Barnett sweeps it in and not enough there in the boot. Just kind of came off of him odd, but we'll tack up another one in the shot category. Deveron, thank you. I'm excited to see how that one goes. It's an interesting competition that Adnan Premier League because they've got 8 teams, and then I think it's halfway or 2/3 of the way through the season they break them up and take the bottom 4 who fight for away from relegation, and then the top 4 who fight for the championship. But there's a big split and a big divide between the top teams there, and 3 of them I think are semi-pro. Wrexham was the first, and then Swansea and Cardiff City followed. And there's really historically only been 3 teams that have won, so that'll be interesting to see how that all goes tomorrow. And they've given me an extra shot. Got to get a little bit better with the scoreboard control. Argentina, that's a second one. What? Lots of South American love. And I do think I'll bring back up the country ticker. The only new one that we've got today, I think, is Saudi Arabia. Into the box, blocked. Have I said the word blocked as much as I have today? iFollow was down And the only way to log in, well, not down, but I was getting the bouncy balls. You had to log in through the match center. So click the live match center box, and then it pops up on the screen that has the game, and then you can click over on the right-hand side, and then it loaded. It loaded for me differently than it normally does. It works fine once I'm into it, but I had to click that bottom left button to actually go into the live match center and then click the game I wanted that way. Uruguay. I think South America is going to be the first content full. I mean, I guess you've got the Surinames that might make it hard, but we're filling up with. I guess North America doesn't count three countries, but South America is definitely well represented here. Long ball over top. Hayden not able to get in the air, so we've got a bit of an issue, but Tozer's back there to clear up if he can get it over top, and well done. Just neat. Just tidy. Boo wifey. David, yeah, I wonder if I can bring up the screen at the half as to where I ended up going. I hope that that's clear. It did work at the start. I was getting a bouncy ball. Nothing was loading up. Nothing was showing. I clicked down on the bottom left-hand corner where it says live match pass, I believe. And then a screen pops up with another one that has Grimsby and Wrexham's logo. And I clicked the watch center, and I clicked that one, and then was able to hit watch live. So I'm glad you guys are there, and people are, maybe that's the reason I've got the subscriber upgrade, is there's desperation as people have no other way to get the game. Either way, Sandy, it's nice to see you. You made it out of the traffic. You have missed a good one so far. This one has been something else. Ooh, Hayden went up and let it go beyond him. That was risky, but I'm thinking he had notice from O'Connor that O'Connor was going to be there. Grimsby still searching before the half, cleared by Boyle. Give it to our center backs. Palmer from Mullen. They're searching. Mullen's looking up to the left. Lee's looking for him. Gets it up to Mullen. He's got McLean's running towards the box. We're playing advantage. Lee went down and punched away. Mullen take his shot. Back out to O'Connor. He's taking a hammer. It blocked down. Whoo! Can't even get the bouncy ball. Are we getting booked here? Yeah, he's looking. So we're going to have two cards in the same play. Lee's got one for pulling a player down, and he had one, and Grimsby's getting one for pulling Lee down earlier. So everybody's getting yellow cards. So Malarkey gets a yellow, Lee gets a yellow. You know what? I've got to give the ref credit. This is, so far he's been doing a good job. I know Homer, when you're up 2-0, to say the referee's been doing a good job. But even the yellow on Lee, there was a previous yellow that I agreed with. The McLean one, which I don't know why McLean put himself in that position, but I understand why that was a yellow. So anyway, Sandy, I was saying you missed out. Simon, Australia. Surprisingly enough, New Zealand beat Australia. I'm doing awesome. It's great to have you. We're growing. That brings us up to 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 countries. The subscribers are rolling up and ticking away. What time is it down in Oz? Because I think that was always the question was, isn't it like middle of the night? Getting close to seeing how much injury time we're going to end up having on the board. 2 goals, a couple of injury times. Palmer went down there for a bit, grabbing his back. Mullen, he beat him. He's on a break. No, side netting. Got me excited. He beat him. You know what? As just a threat. Like, Mullen's not happy. He just fended him off. I don't know what the defender was doing there. He ended up 10 feet away after that challenge. That was just a strange way to play it. He gave him the inside, kind of flew his arms past him as he went past it, ended up 10 feet off. Mullen ran forward, just not able to find the back of the net. So I'm going to think it's probably 6 minutes of extra time, given that we've had a couple players down and a couple goals. 12:48 Sunday morning. How many continents we've got? All of the continents covered. Not a lot out of Asia. I'm trying to think which countries. Palmer, Mullen, 6 minutes of extra time. It's predictable. Cross in. Ooh. There for the clearance. Luke puts it back in. Lee's searching, not able to get up there with the height of Rogers. I think you're right, John, that was a goal if he was 100%. Didn't quite have the pace. Andy sort of sloughed the shot, but O'Connor in there just making it messy for him. Making it messy for them every way, all the way up the pitch. Yeah, even Antarctica. Do I make the sound of a penguin? What would they end up contributing to the chat? The chaos and madness we talk about here. So 2 minutes into the extra time, because, I guess I can just run the clock and you guys will get the idea. So that'll go up to the 51st minute and the way that my clock will end up having to operate. But I'm going to stay through the half, have a chat. God, it's a beautiful day. Hockey season has started, and I'm a Canadian, and this is what's getting me excited. Don't really care about the hockey season this year. Haven't been watching gridiron football. A convert. No, John, you're bang on. I give it to you. I'm not going to argue with it. I said every continent, and I think I'll be challenged to get Antarctica. We'll make it a mission. I'm going to be watching hockey, but I'm also frustrated with my team. So, and not the players, the owners, not even the management, the owners. So it's just tough. They should fire their manager every week. Tranmere on a run. I mean, Crawley's a weird one, isn't it? Because everybody had them predicted to be so low. They're doing relatively, I don't know. So 3 minutes. Things have been slowed down. Watching the momentum meter, it's been since whatever that is, the 34th minute. They're saying all Grimsby. So good on us for the defense and Grimsby for getting stuck in. So here comes a long free kick from the right side. 3.5 minutes into extra time. Left footer. Ooh, that was a good ball, but cleared away. And I think that was Boyle again. Oh, they say McLean. Okay, Mark corrected me on that one. And the question is on who did you have number 2 on the to get fired sweepstakes for managers? I'll tell you what, Hurst, who is the manager for Grimsby, he's probably my nominee for, right kick, giveaway at the front of the box. I wanted to see who that was. Oh, blown down early. Who do you guys, Hurst, I have to give credit to as a manager. Because you look at the turnover and you look at the players that they've got there. He's getting a lot out of them, and he knows he's developed a nice system for them to play into, and that's all you can ask for the manager is to extract the best that they can from their players, and he does that. So I get to hit the stop button here. Bang. I get to move that one over to here. And we're here to chat. It's the half. As much as the domination, you'd look at this and think 8 shots to 1. I don't think that's indicative of the run of play. And even you look at the possession, it's 59% to 41%. I will say this. We've been a lot more threatening than they have been. So I'm going to bring up the tables. Oh, what did I do there? Or did iFollow do that? Did everybody's iFollow just go weird? Because I typed something and now it's done something weird and I can't hear anything. Goals from us were Palmer on a header. Oh, you can do a picture-in-picture. I'll play with that later. Palmer on a header over the top from, I believe it was Lee. I questioned that one, whether it's offside. I'd like to see. exactly what's happening or what happened on that one from the back, from the side. Because they've got it here. Rogers was coming forward, and I just don't know. They're slowing it down. It's like they knew. Rogers. Oh, I think that's close to just putting him onside if you were watching iFollow there. But I will take it. Rogers literally just put him onside. And then the second goal was a cracker. That was Lee getting the deflection over to McLean. McLean with a really quick ball. And John, you say a good goal? And that's the second one that just played on iFollow there. That was glorious service. Kudos for Lee for busting his hump and getting that ball back. But yeah, Mullen and Palmer all day. I'm trying to bring up the sort of the scoreboard watching as we go through things. Gillingham, 7 goals for, 6 goals against. Top of the table. That's Gillingham. And when's the Knots game? Are they off today or are they playing it tonight? Oh, they played yesterday, defeated Salford, and then they don't have a game now till next Saturday. All right. I guess that's true for us as well. So Knots over Salford. Swindon up 1-0. I'm going to take that off while we're doing this. Played Friday. Yeah, I missed it. I would have loved to be able to watch that. And I guess I have never checked with the iFollow stuff whether we're able to pick up other games that aren't playing live or whether we only get the Wrexham games by buying the package. Let me know what your thoughts are. I should probably bring in somebody else to do this. But I'm that is pretty damn close to our top 11. Is that our top 11? I'm trying to think of... I would have said at the start of the game, maybe not Palmer, but I thought that, I did say it, you kind of have to give him a run. We still have the FA Cup and the Pizza Cup. The Pizza Cup, the next match that we have, and to be fair, do I want to win the Pizza Cup or get involved in it? Our next game, October 10. So we're going to have 2 games with Crew Alexandra sort of back-to-back. We're a week to Stockport. The following week, we've got Crew. And then we'll see them on a Tuesday, just, 10 days later, a week and a half later. We'll get them for the second match in the Pizza Cup. If we win that, we're pretty much guaranteed a spot in the playoff round. If we end up losing, then we look to Port Vale to see whether we want to go there. I don't know how excited I am. And I haven't looked. FA Cup, I believe, starts typically in November with the draw. For teams, it started, but for teams that are first round proper, because we don't have to play in any qualifying rounds. And so I think that's November. And the FA Cup, run it as far as you can run it, for the financial benefit, for the prestige, for the opportunity. The FA Cup is maybe not. Well, it's not as important as the league, but it's damn close, and so I'm hoping we can end up pulling some more parky magic when it comes to that. And I wonder if, and I got to get used to the keyboards being in the wrong spots to where they normally are. Things will get better, and I'm hoping that you guys stay with me as I adjust to the madness that is rechanging absolutely everything that was here. I'm going to try something here, and if I was to hit this button and I was to say, where am I? Over here. Wait. Okay. That didn't work. We're trying things here. I can bring up those numbers right away, actually, because it's in the third round you start to get to the 110,000, but you also get your 45%, or is it 40? No, it's 40% in the FA Cup of the away side of the away revenue. So it's not just the home team that gets all of their stuff. So it's 41,000 quid for the first round proper. if you win. You win the second round, 67,000. And the third round is where you start to get into it. 100,000 for the third round, 120 for the fourth, 225 for the fifth, 450 for the quarterfinals, $1 million at the semis, and $2 million to the winner, an extra $1 million to the loser in the FA Cup. So last year it was third round proper, I think we ended up making it to. And so, and that's in addition to, that's sort of why you want to have those big away games, right? You end up pulling a London squad or Manchester squad. You've got that opportunity to really do things. So, yeah, that's where that's at. I just wanted to bring this up and see what happens as I pull it. Draw that over. Just kind of have a look and chat about this while we're looking at it. You guys don't have to look at my beautiful face. Everybody at the half. Tranmere over Crawley Town. 1-0, and just going back. Crawley's been fascinating to me because they were a pick for a lot of people to go near the bottom. So right now the live thing puts them at 14. We lost in the fourth round last year, so we did get that 100,000. Thanks, John. Couldn't remember off the top of my head. Colchester up over Mansfield Town. There's another surprise. Mansfield Town, I think they were second going into the start of the day, now down to fifth, and Colchester climbing their way from the bottom, looking to add more points. So good on Colchester. You've got Doncaster over FGR. FGR has been a team that's been playing better than I thought that they were going to start the season off. Stockport over the MK Dons, another one of those ones that makes you... You know what, to be fair, Stockport I had predicted at the start of the year to be one of the top teams. MK, so those are two anticipated good teams having a run out. I get that. Bradford 0-0 with Harrogate Town. That's good for us, and good on Harrogate for making a mess of things, and hopefully they're able to take that point. Keep Bradford down there. That would be 3 draws out of 4 for Bradford, and only 1 win in their last 5 if they end up not being able to come through in that one for Bradford. So potentially starting to get some separation in the standings as you go through things. Wimbledon over Crewe. I haven't even looked at Crewe, to be fair, this year yet, to be able to tell you whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. Other than where they are in the standings, I haven't. And we're going to play them twice in short order, so I'm going to have to get on top of that. And then Accrington Stanley, 1-0 over Sutton. And Sutton owns the distinction of being at the bottom as Donny's got itself into position for 3 points. So good stuff there. Yeah, I don't want to use words like abysmal because when I do, I end up offending people. Man, I still remember Swindon Town when I called them marshmallows in the pre-match and everybody lost their mind. I am going to have to do probably some more videos. I want to do more reels, or reels, shorts, whatever you want to call them. Asking some questions. To get there, I've got to get the subscriber count to a certain amount so I can do some polls. My hours are way up. The subscribers are coming up today, which makes me feel good because I'm trying to get to that 500 mark where I can start doing some polls because I'd like to ask questions and see and have people take part and do that sort of stuff. So Alex, welcome back. Just saw the score at halftime. Who scored? So you missed a beauty of a goal from Boyle. That was the second goal. I got to hit go live here. Second goal was an absolute stunner. Lee kind of nicked the ball, got it back over to McLean. McLean works it over to the left side. Perfect cross, service right on Boyle's head. He hits it and it goes into the right side of the net. The first one I originally thought was offside. It looks like at the replay they slowed it down for us to be able to slow it down. It looks like Rogers, the defender, came back and was just put Palmer onside. So it was a looping shot, another good ball from Lee. And that one went in, so it was glorious. The scoreboard is up, and there's again. This seems weird to me as a season. I want to look at things statistically and see, but not a lot of draws this year. And I mean, you look at the scoreboard right now. Knott's had a win, but there right now there is only one game that's on even terms. Somebody is winning and somebody is losing, which is. Is interesting because that means you need more points to be able to advance. It's great if you're pushing forward for it, but I like when everybody else draws, unless they're ahead of us. I'd prefer maybe they lose if they're playing a bottom team, but I like when everybody else draws but us. Take away that extra point that everybody else can go ahead and get. Just the math. Remove more points, but it seems almost every week there's been winners and losers and not a lot of draws. I'm down for Brendan for pulling Moles back a little bit early, especially in a 2-0 game. I don't think we got to get too excited on that front. Do I have to really reset this by counting the clock or all the way back? There's got to be a way to do this better than this, no? Doesn't appear so. So we're going to count that one all the way back. Well, I guess I could get it up to the 45th minute and go from there. You have to wonder, right? So let's be clear. They don't own their stadium, and that's an interesting backstory because that's the former owner whose trust account owns the stadium, and they have that issue. And that, I don't know how they'll rectify that. But they do have the largest attendance. They do have all of the resources available for them to do well, and they don't. And I said this back, I think when I did my 20-pound video, 20-pound turnover or 20 million pound turnover video, and I asked the question, like, if I was a Bradford fan, I would be choked at the management team at Bradford because I can understand League Two is not a pushover league. There's good quality sides here. But you dominate everybody with your financial resources. And you, what is this, their 5th season down here in League Two? Bradford should be doing better than that. And so who do you blame? And I don't know the answer to that. But if I was a Bradford fan, I wouldn't be happy. If I was a Grimsby fan, I am stoked with Hurst. He seems to do his thing. I don't know. Any other questions that you guys have and any other opinions from going around there? Yeah, it's also the newest and built specifically for Franchise FC to secure somebody. It's a long season. It is a long season. It's fascinating to me. I've got 10 games as they're starting to come out from the half. I've got the next review I do, the Who Do We Hate You, Who Are You series, is going to be my 10th one. I'm almost halfway through doing reviews of the teams in the league, which made me wonder what sort of videos do I do next? Just a 5-minute sort of addendum to things? I don't know. And I will say, before they signed Fletcher, I was noting that there was a Canadian free agent, Junior Hoylett, who played for the national team, who was available. He signed with my local club, the Vancouver Whitecaps. And so I'm wondering if I'm going to have to go to watch some of those. Wasn't anticipating to do that, but they signed 3 Canadian internationals here in Vancouver. But that was I was looking for who could be a replacement to go there. Talk about welcome to Wrexham. I've been debating doing that. The hard part is I want to do it in a live. And to do it in a live has to be done on a Sunday. And then I'm losing family time, and with the game tomorrow, I do want to use Sundays more. It's going to be tough because those in the UK are 8 hours ahead of where I am. And so I'm at work when it's their evening. They're in bed when I'm awake in the morning. I just don't know when to do it. So I'm going to have to figure out some timing stuff, but I do want to do that. As far as what do I actually think is, well, if you saw my Twitter, I wasn't that convinced with this season. It wasn't the first episode. It wasn't my favorite by any stretch. And I think that was just because of the focus is on the financial stuff and the cop, and it seemed a little bit, oh, woe is me. So one change for them, Waterfall is out. Otis Khan coming in, that's the player who hasn't had a lot of minutes. I think, off the top of my head, he was just over 200. But Barnett out, cleaning up in the back, kicks it off, gets the throw, and we're back in. 45th, the scoreboard works. Everything's ticking a lot. They certainly do, soccer domes. I'm in the Lower Mainland, and so we're the only jurisdiction that plays football during the football season. Like our kids are starting to get their run out right now, just like hockey. And that's because they'll play in the rain, and we rarely get snow in the Lower Mainland. We're the only place it doesn't. But you go to Saskatoon and the soccer dome, I know exactly where it is, where I grew up. So when it's 40 below, they've got a place to play. But that's a perpetual challenge. And if you ever want to see something fun, look at the Atacube snow dive after Canada scored to beat Mexico for qualifying in the World Cup. That's the perfect Canadian national soccer celebration. Mullen was offside, so we just let that one go past him. That was unfortunate. I mean, brilliant play, knowing that you're not going to be able to do anything there. I've got to just bring up where I was. Oh, I got to stop typing in because I mute myself every time I go to type anything. I mute myself. So throw in for us. Tozer in the back. It's sort of been just back and forth to start everything. Yeah, still too early for me for table watch in Dub and G. But I'm... And is that Jed? Jed, I think you have multiple accounts, don't you? But anyway, too early for me to get into the table watching. There's another quick throw. We've been cheeky with the throws, and they have been, and that's a byproduct of them not pressuring our throws. Even again, Tozer's running over for the throw. Oh, and while I'm here, so the FA Cup, I looked it up, is first round proper Saturday, November 5th. I think they announced the draw like about a week before, after the qualifying round's done. So I'll run a watch party for that. Big throw in, and I think that was Rogers getting up there and getting the head away, and it's over to Tozer. That's the problem. Those long balls in, I think they've got to do the more direct, like you saw with McLean goal to Boyle, not the big loopers, because they've got some aerial beasts back there. There's Jed. Yeah, I am in a... Give credit to Jed. I'm excited. Like I said, I wanted this to be a place where whoever wanted to get involved, make videos, do things, join watch parties, can do what they want to do. So I'm thankful for Jed for sort of being the first to step up. And we've already chatted about ways to kind of get them improved. And Shane, Ireland. I actually think we didn't have Ireland before. But that would finish off Great Britain and Ireland. Through Mullen. He's everywhere, and he just finds... That's a foul. Are you going to give a yellow card on that one? Yep. That's only, again, because of the professional nature of the foul. And what's fascinating about that one is Mullen gets around to exactly where the ball's going to be, and he just has a read on things. He's that one step more direct to the ball, and that's all that was, is one step more direct to the ball. He ends up curling around. He's running. He beats his guy. He's behind two guys. He gets pulled down, and they give the yellow card because that was a professional one. But I'm going to say he grabbed his arm. Mullen went down easy. So this one's a bit of a ways out. I don't think we're going to have a crack. Young standing there. No, he's just going to give it over to Hayden, and Hayden's going to get it over to the side. Looking to get something in from the right. Back to Hayden, in from the right. High ball, deep. Oh, he's there. Lee was there. He was behind him, and so that's one of those ones you get up in the air and you're trying to hang up there and hope you can get to it. The mighty sheepshaggers, is that who we are now? The other thing for anybody else who's listening, you can see my chat is all YouTube chat stuff. You can join from Twitch or anywhere else, but I'm wondering if I should just limit it and it's been YouTube exclusive and just keep it simple. But if anyone has their thoughts on that, I'll let you share them. And the other thing is you can see where my time's coming in now. I'm curious as to how far behind I am from you receiving it. I know I have about a 5-second delay to me, but I'm curious if that's what you guys are getting. He is your type of player, though, too, Brendan. I could just tell from the personality. Like that announcement doesn't surprise me. It's interesting to me when you meet people and you can be like, I anticipate that you're going to be a fan of. I'm sleeping on the shots here. 10 shots. And the crowd's getting into it. They've got 5, to be fair. I've been sleeping on this for the second half. So that's a little bit indicative. You look at that they've been doing better, but then you look at the momentum and it doesn't really suggest that much is there. 59%, 41% the possession. No big shots for them, but they are passing exceptionally well. 232 and 80%. Here they come down. They've got numbers left side looking to cross. I think he should have pushed that in a little quicker, but he doesn't. Good cross. Scramble by McLean and Boyle, but they're able to get to that one. Yee. Another ball in. Tozer's there. It's still there. O'Connor cleans it up. Over to Hayden. If you can't, wins the throw. If you can't play it out, clear it out. Ten seconds off. Thanks, John. Mullins, and again, Mullen, no! So much effort, so much leg, he's punching the ground in frustration. Thumbs goes up. Just snuck it around, and again, he cuts off. Rogers gets in front of him, goes with the right foot to try to beat the goalie on the right-hand side, and he got too much of it, and so it rolled out. Now Grimsby again back. I'll tell you what, there are, for a 2-0 game, too many chances back and forth. I guess there's no foot off the gas for us. Young, Palmer played it over to Mullen, and Mullen wasn't expecting it. All right. I don't know if Mark was speaking literally, that the floodlights went on for a moment and lit up the... I don't know. Healthy Moles has 2 today. Yep, maybe. That one, not a lot of time on that second one. The first one, I definitely think he would have got. That second one, maybe. So Grimsby still with the press. I'm just watching Mullins as he's walking around, recharging the batteries, which you expect, but does he look a little bit slower than... Is he running out of gas? Howard with the collection on that one. I'm just trying to see how much of that ball he got. Tough to tell from that one. It was a really good ball from McLean. Like, passed it through there and saw him sneaking in. Yeah, just got the foot just past the ball too far. I think he is looking a little bit tired. Which, if that's the case, you yank him immediately. He's done his work. He's long ball, way too far. I will say Grimsby's looked more threatening than I anticipated, to be, whether that's an insult to them or a compliment. I expected them to be parking the bus more, maybe indicative of a 2-0 game. Is Bickerstaff even available in this one? Did he make Well, I guess I can just do this, can't I? Dalby and Fletcher are the two that are on the bench. Evans, Mendy, Davies, Johns, and Okonkwo are the ones that are available. Look at how handy that ended up being. Jeepers. All sorts of new toys. And I didn't speed things up, but it's... just slowing it down. Every once in a while, Grimsby goes through these stretches where they just seem like they want to bump up their possession stats, and they just kick it back and forth between the midfield and one player one person in the back. So now they'll try the other side, up to a midfielder, and that was a bad touch. Did we get it? Oh, yep, Palmer. Good. So they were kicking it around and they gave it away. No real crazy pressure. We were just happy to let them do their thing. O'Connor. Forward. That was an enterprising ball. I don't think... How fast do you think Palmer is? Hayden was trying to get a little cheeky there with that long ball down. Didn't get them there. Yeah, I would like to see Fletcher get another run. Do you put Fletcher with Palmer? I mean, that's a big... And sort of against what Parky likes to do, but with Waters gone, I guess that's what you have to do. And Dalby's not tiny either, so... Scores should be above my head, 2-0. See, Jen, I got new toys. Nice to see you, by the way. Lee's got it down the left-hand side, gets it back. We're going to just control it. Lots of play in the midfield in the second half. Thanks, Jed. Yeah, it's been... I mean, I'm not going to say fun to put it... Wow, nice ball. Barnett... Really good tackle. Barnett's still able to get it. Ekes in. Well, that was interesting because that wrestle to the ground, a player grabbed him and kind of got tussled up with Barnett, but it all happened after the ball was away. Yes, Jen, that is specifically for you, at your request. As I was like, it should have a score. And I do want to be able to track what the heck is going on. And we missed a shot, so I can do cool things like updating the shot total as we go through. See? It's kind of nice. Yeah, Zergis, that's what I'm concerned about. Is Mullen's done his thing, and he's had a run out. It's been good. Now we need to let Fletcher have his go. Bring in Dalby if you wish. I think I'd prefer Dalby over Fletcher to be just only because I want Dalby to be able to get into it and get a little bit more run out. And if we're there 2-0. Right side. That was a good little play to get around Lee, but that service was abhorrent, nasty, disgusting, and all the way over to the other side. How do you go from one end of the pitch to the other on a cross? Thanks, Alex. We're work in progress. I'm just a fan who's trying to figure things out. Hopefully I do want to fix the background here stuff eventually. Brandon helped out in that regard in one area by sending over a nice little gift, which I appreciate, and I'm not expecting gifts, but I'm very, very thankful. So I'm hoping to incorporate that, and my Christmas request list is an interesting one because it's not stuff that I would have expected to do last Christmas. No, Mullen didn't get both goals. It was Palmer and Boyle. Both different source of the delivery, but both headers. Lee over top to Palmer, and then on the second goal was McLean over the top to Boyle. Fletcher's warming up. Caesar, you know what? Good call on the numbers. Boyle, Hayden, Ollie, and Mullen. Offside. No flag up. Palmer's got it. Palmer still got it in the middle of the box, trying to settle it down. I'm surprised he's not offside again. Is he that sneaky? Uh-oh, Palmer's down. He's punching the ground. He's beating the ground. Yeah, Palmer's not in a good shape. Oh, what happened there? They don't say it was a penalty. I didn't see what was happening, to be fair. Not a good state when the lights go dark and Palmer's down. Okay, so hand in the back, hand in the back. He's down on the ground. No, there's nothing in there for a penalty, and I don't know what he would have hurt. He may have taken the boot that came through a little bit weird. But he's acting like, yeah, they're calling shoot. I've lost my live subscriber count, and I don't know how that happened either. If I go here, I've got it. Interesting. So I don't know what they're going to do. If they were expecting to bring Fletcher in for Mullen, and now you've got Palmer going down. And they got Dalby running to get ready. So we're going to get Dalby in for... And see, that's it. That's parking. That's interesting to me. Like, just remember this. Dalby, Palmer, Fletcher, Mullen. There's definitely a plan. And he's got them... not just as a set of strikers with the depth chart, but he seems to have them as, I want my one type of striker, other type of striker, and they're in the depth charts. And that is that you've got, after Palmer, you've got Dalby. After Mullen, you've got Fletcher. Find out where we put Bickerstaff in there. Yeah, I appreciate it. Palmer is coming off and hobbling off, so Dalby's going to get his shot. You're right, Wrexham do have another shot. Thank you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give Jennifer the controls to the scoreboard, and she can just play with it the entire game on her phone, and we'll get the updates because she's the stats follower. I don't think that there was anything like a hamstring or a knee or a groin or an ankle or anything. I think that was a boot and a soreness. And so anyway, Dalby gets his run. There we go. Maine. Yeah, it is that storm's coming through there. I was looking at that. I mean, I was looking at from the Canadian context with Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, anticipating to get that here. So good luck to you guys in the northeast. 64th minute. I'm going to add a couple of seconds to my clock. I'm behind. Howard gets called upon, makes a save. Exactly, Kim. 61%. The expected goals. See, this is the thing that I upset people when I was Grimsby fans, a couple of them, when I was talking about the analytics, and it informs you as to who's been having the better game. Interestingly, it should have potentially been a foul there on Dalby with everybody all over him. Is our expected goals hasn't even reached 1. We're still up 2-0, but they're at 0.25, and that's been the problem with their games. Is their expected goals have just been so low all the way through. Now, is that just a pure analytical thing, or is that just them not threatening? 5 shots, no big chances missed. They're a defensive team that passes well, but there is nothing in their attack. Oh, beautiful ball by Lita Dalby, and just that save. Holy. Kind of a fall, just catches it with his right boot and is able to pull that one away. That Dalby, I don't know if he could have got it over top of him. But he just dragged it in. See, it's predictable. I've said the word block. Mullen hurt himself there. I didn't notice. That was a good cross from them, but they're very direct, and so direct that there's just so many block shots. We've just been standing in front of them. Get him off the pitch, Parky. We've been saying, what was it, 10 minutes ago, John? We identified that he's slowing down and not looking himself. He got Fletcher up at the 60th minute, so it's been 6 minutes since he's got him up. Just leaving him out there because Palmer got but yeah, you look at... He jogged that one. Hayden, there. Howard, collect. I don't like that we're starting to get onto our back heels. I only have 11 shots. Are you using FOTMob? What service do you use? 1 goal, 7 clearances, 1 tackle, 94%. Caesar, that's... Thank you for bringing those stats up. That's impressive. Louisiana. That's a new one. Love it. Sofa score. Okay. Well, interesting. We've got a split. Could just be that mine's slow. 67th minute. Grimsby with it, and in the lower third. And usually they set up and they end up trying to go direct. And just a lot of block shots. And there they are again, trying to look for a kick from the outside. He's running forward, gets it over to the right. Every once in a while you get something like that that's not predictable, but guess what? Block. It's that search for a gap, find a gap, take the shot, and it doesn't work out. And that's what Grimsby's entire offensive has been, is predictable. You've got a 6 shot on Sofa score. Maybe I should move over. FOTMob's sitting here at 11-5 with momentum in the second half, substantively in their favor. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind Moricom pulling out an extra goal here in their game. I mean, as frustrating as that would be to keep Knots on top, it would be nice to have them cut down at 16 points. Hayden, another defensive play. I'm trying to think. All of the other games that we've played, like we had the O'Connor misstep where he ended up catching it, or Dalby misstep where he ended up catching his lap, went up over, and there was a goal as a consequence. O'Connor didn't look good last game. We've had mistakes throughout. Knock on wood. But we've been solid, like near bloody mistake free. So Sofa scores the preferred over FOTMob, eh? Oh, come on. He had... Like, this is too much. Like, I'm okay with like jersey pull and a little bit of here or there, but when you've got enough force that you're pulling a guy back with the shirt coming down, Eastwood, slow kicks, 20 minutes, 25 plus injury time to go. And just punched out, good little defensive play. Did that go off of them for our throw? It did. Just nicking the ball. They're talking about who's been impressive. Who hasn't been impressive? Like, this one's going to be hard on man of the match. Like, do you take Hayden? Do you take Boyle? Do you take McLean? And none of them are the goal scorers. Oh, Boyle, I guess, got the one. Is that why you have to give him over Hayden? Nice ball over top. A little bit too far. McLean's screaming at him, saying, I want the ball. Crawley equalized. Beauty. Not having fun like we are? Well, Sharon, you let them know that we know where the fun is. Doesn't even have to change jersey colors. It's got to be nice. Is Ryan still filming Deadpool in the UK, and is that why he's able to get there? It must be nice to be able to run your chair. So we've got your chances to be able to go out and soak up some time. I got to figure out what happened to my subscriber block, because I've got it there. 421. Jeez. I won't use the Lord's name in vain. That's almost double the highest I've ever had subscribe as one thing. Is there a way to show the TV screen? Can I show this? You want me to put the TV screen? That's still a copyright. But see, the thing is I don't want to get punted. There are dodgy streams out there. I'm not going to cut them out if people put them up. But so Evans and Fletcher come in, O'Connor and Mullins getting his break. You know what? They've been. I think Tom deserves some credit, because he had about as ugly a game as he's ever had the last time out against Donnie, and that one was much better. 5 road games, solid teams. I said at the start of this, we've got 5 games where we need to take 12, 15 points, because it's not only do we have a lot of home games, we have home games against teams that we were expected to beat. We've been taking care of business now. Now we get into October and we see where we end up going. If we're able to handle the pressure there, we're in a good stead. So we got 2.5 or 2 games and a little bit more to get max points here. But we got some work to do, for sure. They're having a battle as the Grimsby fans were giving it, I think, to Mullen. Lee over to McLean, left side. See, we're so far more enterprising. Lee gets it across. And cross into the box. No, that was an easy header. Not much there in that cross. Luke Young collects it. But you just watch the searching and the foot pace and the creativity and the running and people looking for the gaps when Wrexham has the ball. Conversely, you take that over to Grimsby, and they're predictable. They've got a lot of possession, lots of passing, but there aren't moves that happen that I don't expect, like that little flick on the left-hand side to be able to get it over to free up a cross. It's those little things that I've been really impressed by today, and we get a corner. Is weird angles that to connect with the ball that me as a stupid Canadian learning the sport, you don't anticipate them, and that's Mullen had that as the long ball that came through that he was able to kick with his right over the side. Lots of enterprising play, searching for people running off of each other, and that's what I've been impressed with. So Luke Young gonna go right-footed from this corner from the left side. We are going right to left on your computer screen, by the way. So just at the tech end, the south side, the Stoke Coffee ground. There goes the right footer in. Oh, header, it's there. Couldn't get that. It's kind of got knocked away. Fletcher clears it up. It was there to take, but unfortunately it was 2 feet on the wrong side of the ball. Tried to get around and get it over and couldn't do it. Oh, absolutely, Kim. You're bang on. Part of that is you add Fletcher, you add the depth. You've got McLean who's come in. You've got Mullins back healthy. Hayden's back healthy. My big question, and the other one that I'm curious to get, who's our number 4 in the backs? Is it O'Connell? Is it Tunnicliffe? Is it Cleworth? Lots of different opinions on that one, and I don't know we haven't had an answer from Parky as to who that will be. But I was going through and trying to find depth charts all the way through, and I don't know after Hayden, and does it matter on side? You've got Hayden, Tozer, Boyle. Who's next? Harrogate, get in. Attendance FC. Like, you look at the turnover and you look at the size of those two clubs. Harrogate owned by Trust, Bradford City with that big stadium, and they justify it. The fans just always seem to be the happy clappers in Bradford, who are like, oh, it's a tough league and you're going to learn when you get here. And it is a tough league. I'm not saying it's not. But at some point in time, when you've got the resources behind you, you start to expect and question things. And I'm not trying to get anybody fired in Bradford, but yeah, it hasn't been a good spin for them. And then their decision on their strikers was an interesting one. And probably one that they regret. Taking Jake Young and sending him out to Swindon, and him finding his way. Yeah, maybe a tad optimistic, but I mean, I will be honest with you, until the end and we started to add Fletcher and McLean, I was frustrated with what Knott's had done, especially, I mean, they don't have the turnover, so you know that they're losing that in debt, but to me, I don't, that's behavior that I don't understand, is going into debt on a gamble to get promoted, because it kills the club. They've already got they're in debt to 14 million quid and they've added another 1.7. But I do think that they added on the pitch the best out of any of the teams that went through it. A lot of people were saying Grimsby had maybe one of the better transfer window, and I think the report card was they were near the top on most report cards. But when I was looking at who was brought in, Knott's was the one that impressed me. Dalby, right hand side, gets it over, open. Lee, and I'm not far behind. Holy! Fletcher, Dalby. Whoo! He came screaming in, like that ball comes skipping along the face of goal. And everybody from Grimsby and Wrexham just sort of looked, and it was one of those ones where you could see the slow motion, like the chariots of fire. Da-na-na-na-na-na. You know Lee's coming. Da-na-na-na-na. He had about that much time to be able to go and make that, and then gets the right footer on it and puts it through. But nobody, I want to see this in normal speed, because it just felt like that. Gets it over and everybody stops. Boop. Oh man. Whew. No stalling. Get stuck in. Fill the net. Mark Griffiths with the shots fired in the headset. Hello there, League Two. Are you watching? Oh, man. It's a beautiful Saturday, isn't it? Great day for some football. Let's get Morecambe to get themselves going, and let's get Walsall to find a way in the late minute, even with a man down, to find a way to score one up here and just make a mess of the standings. Oh, we're up here again. Fletcher, left-hand side, searching. Oh, kicked away by Rogers. Oh, he's fumbled it in the backs there. Kicked off, but it was going to go out for a kick in a panic, but unfortunately it hit Dalby in the knee on the way out. Man, how far did Lee run? That camera angle, if you didn't see that, like he was just past the center stripe when Dalby had the ball and started his turn. And I'm going to have to try and pull that and get the Chariots of Fire music to it, to Lee running for his goal there. That was awesome. Wrexham this morning, Colorado this evening, not a bad day. I feel dirty when I talk about watching the MLS. I don't know why, because I just haven't been a Whitecaps fan, but they've signed three really like players. Adekube is one of my favorite players. And Adekube signed with the Whitecaps coming up back from Turkey. they got Hoylett, who left Reading, and now he's playing over here probably to finish off his career. And they went and got Larea, who was with Nottingham Forest, and brought him over. And I'm like, now I have to follow. Canada has teams. 3 of them in the top division and 8 in our new second division. McLean cross in, gets away. McLean looking, 2-on-1, gets it over to Evans. I didn't even see Evans come in. McLean. Ooh. That's got to go for a corner. Fletcher giving the crowd mocking on every pass. You can hear, I don't know if you heard that, but if you want, you hear, "Way, way," every time the Wrexham completed a pass. And man, I would hate that. I'm just saying. Oh, score update. See, I do have to give you, Jennifer, the keys to the vehicle here. I got to check the score. I've got no shots updates. Is that just FOTMob sleeping on it? Maybe I have to go to SofaScore. $13-7. So we get it back after that corner didn't go. We're on the right side going towards the tech end. Left foot? No. Right foot. Every time McLean dances one way or the other. Oi, oi, oi. Fletcher over to Lee. Beauty. Lee danced him. Cross. What's going on? Putting on a show. 3 guys sitting there. Fletcher. Oh, he went over his head but didn't get it. What the heck was that? Bicycle kick. Bicycle kick. 3 guys sitting there spectating Grimsby. Spectating. They're just watching. Literally, Lee danced this guy from the little fleck from Fletcher. What? And then Fletcher gets it back, and he bicycle kicks it down and forces the kick. Somebody got some Harlem Globetrotter music playing in the background. Dun, 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 dun. What the heck is going on? Man, that would have been awesome if that would have got in. Fletcher. The cheeky Scotsman. You got to kind of love that, don't you? Oh, Mark's telling a story I got to listen to. Malarkey is out for Afete. Gotta love the fans because it's mass banter right now. Like, we're giving it to them. I think Kim Fletcher has to be starting soon. There's too much teeth in his game and too much creativity. Like what he saw there with that little back heel going over to Lee. And then he immediately, as soon as he gives the back heel, he doesn't just watch to see what Lee's done. He goes to the complete opposite end of the box and gets in there and gets himself onto the edge of a bicycle kick. Like what? Mark is doing the commentary for the video feed. They announced that after, I think, the second or third, that he will do all of the iFollow broadcast. So he's on. He was talking about Grimsby fans lit off a flare at the start of the second half, and they want to get payback and don't want to pay the 20 quid. Grimsby with it. They haven't been down in our end in a while. Let's keep the clean sheet though. Everybody come on back. It's a cross in. That was a good cross. Lots of there, but McLean. We need to find one of either Boyle or McLean have to get a tan. Because from a distance, it's too hard for me to know who's who heading the ball away in a blur. It's just every time it comes down that left side, you know it's going to be just a streak of white coming in with a header to get it away, and I don't know who it is. That's unfortunate for Donnie. I don't want Donnie to get relegated. They're my backup. Do I have a backup team? Not really. But if there had to be another team that I wish to do relatively well, it's got to be them. Another good play with a back heel. Luke Young all dancing by himself. Fletcher calls for it in the midfield. Another back heel. Over to Lee. Back to Fletcher. He's searching. Over the top. Chip to Lee. What the... Mark Griffiths almost in that goofy voice said, "Oh, this is fun." I know that Boyle has a distinctive bald head. The problem is when the ball is off of it, I can't tell how short the hair is. I get bald head, short hair. I can't tell. Yeah, my wife is from Donnie, so I guess I kind of have to be. Fletcher's getting up the list on my favorite player. Now I'm frustrated that he's not in his late 20s, because I want the guy to be eking around here forever, because holy cow. Different level. James Jones in for Mr. Hayden. And so, yeah, they're saying Evans is going to fall back. Oh, and who else is? Davies in for Lee. We're getting 87th minute here, 88th minute. Man of the match. Have a fight. Who do you go with here? Lee's got his goal to go with his play. Boyle's got his goal to go with his play. Tozer's been solid, but maybe not as good as the others. Hayden has been outstanding. McLean's been a menace the entire game. Barnett's been lights out from the right side. Who's the man of the match? Give it to Howard on the clean sheet? Yeah, I think you're right. Mullen and Fletcher would just be unfair. And you know what? Fletcher plays a game that I think works with Mullen well. Those cheeky plays, because Mullen's creative and he's so quick to ball. If they start to read off of each other, that's scary. Okay, so we have one vote for Lee for man of the match. I gotta go. Lee gets too many. It's got to be somebody else. Yeah, 15. Sorry. I missed one. Just possession control. 89th minute. Barnett's got it now. Just control to Evans, who's now slid down on the right-hand side. Boyle directing back to Howard. Just control. Mike, enjoy your weekend. Wrexham is the name. It's awesome to have you here. Thanks for joining. I haven't brought up the lineup card just to be able to see how many subscribers I've got. 421. Madness. Absolute madness. It's been a good day. If you haven't had a chance to click the subscribe button, go ahead and do that. We're here tomorrow. Reminder for the women's match at the Rock. Or I guess if you're going, then kudos to you. £3 to get to the match. That's a good Sunday afternoon, evening. Coming up to the time where they announce the injury stats or the injury time. Lee gets it. Anybody else on man of the match who you're going with? 6 minutes to be added. Yes, Kim. And especially when they also use their feet. They do a good job. I appreciate the wisdom. Thanks, Jen. I love doing this, and it's interesting to get a good, we may be able to laugh down the road. Jen, Brendan, Sandy, Alex, Dale, who's not with us today, Andrew, all of you guys. If I miss a name, it's not intentional. We may be able to joke down the road that this is, we've got 1,000 people now all of a sudden watching a live game. That would be nuts. But in the interim, I just enjoy having a nice little community, and I get to chat with you guys. It makes my week. It makes me happy. and I enjoy doing the videos, but I'm also frustrated that it's not the fun ones that get any attention. It's the really deep research ones, which are a bugger to put together. So no other votes for Lee. Do we just anoint him as man of the match? I'm going to nominate Boyle. Brendan's going to nominate McLean, I'm sure, who's been out there. Just because he gets too many, he's carrying the team. I know, but he didn't carry the team today in his absence. Cheers, David. I appreciate that. Lee is a good choice. I just thought that today McLean was more of a pop down the left side and there defensively to help out in the back quite frequently. That I could see McLean getting it. I could see Boyle getting it. Lee's certainly in the running. If Fletcher played 90, because, man, some of those plays. So, two minutes into the extra time, and just when we have possession, we're slowing it down. Back to Howard, slowly, kicked it out. Extra time, 6 minutes of extra time, so we'll count this up to 96 minutes. But it was 6 minutes in the first half, and he blew it down at 4.5 minutes. To be fair, I've never seen that. I've seen it. His game starts with a dirty tackle. Well, so that was a good thing. He got that yellow card early. Cross by Grimsby, headed down by Boyle, but he's down right to them. Another block shot. Block. I need a scoreboard that shows how many times I use the word block, because I would have shattered the record this game. Bouncy ball for 96 minutes. Frustrating. And that'll be a throw into us. $423. I haven't even looked at the live stats to see how many viewers I've had in today and haven't, or how many on are right now. But if you get the chance and you haven't, give me a subscribe, please, if you wouldn't mind. Trying to push to 500 because it opens up more opportunities with polls that I can start to do and different creative things that can make this a little bit better. So searching for the 500 would be awesome. Jennifer, you're more than welcome. I wonder if you could pipe in just the audio from the crowd. That would be fun to get into this one. Lee's the man. Okay, so I hear I've tried to make the pitch for others. 121 watching now. That's madness. That's like double where we're normally at. I will take it. And if you haven't chatted to the 121 of you who are watching, feel free to throw in a comment and tell me that you're here. Anybody except my mom. I know that she tunes in and watches, and so hi, Mom. I love you. Now I'm going to feel bad if she was watching. Add Louisiana to the scroll. You got her? Yeah, I've got Louisiana. I've got Maine, I think. And I won't be able to do the follow-up. We've got to run off to do kids' activities mid-morning all weekend long. Yeah, I've got Australia there. I'm not getting a lot of Canadian provinces. Are there any other Canucks here? I'm surprised that I've only got 4 provinces. Did I bring that one up? Here we go. I can bring that up. The states and the countries are collecting, but BC, Alberta, Manitoba, and Ontario, which is sad. I grew up in Saskatchewan, which means not a single one of my friends has been to a live and said hi. Johnson, you're more than welcome, man. I'm glad to have the coverage for you guys to listen to. I'm glad for people to chat and get into it. We get 500 subs, we can all come swimming in the pool. Yes. Or just new toys. Checking in from Vegas. Nevada's a new one for us, so we'll take that one to the list. 3-goal difference today. Montana's in. Man, the U.S., you guys are going to hit 50 states before I get even close to 6 provinces. That's sad. Clean sheet for Howard. The whistle blows. It's over. She's 3-0. Oregon, you're welcome. This is good stuff. You know what? I called this as a 1-1 draw. And so I will happily eat my words, crow, hat, whatever. This is a defensive team who has not allowed a lot of goals. They haven't scored a lot, but they haven't allowed a lot of goals. And we have been better defensively, but not really tested. We've stepped up in all accounts here. That's the beautiful part. Like, I don't want to get too excited. But you gotta say that looked delicious. Absolutely scrumptious. Like, we were everywhere. Creative lines, defensively, we were in control. I'm stoked. I can stop this, stop the clock. It's over, it's a final. Oh, hi, Mom. She did hear that. All right. That's cute. 20 goals. Like, League Two is and will prove to be a competition every step of the way, and the guys have to step up. But if this isn't a declaration that we've got the capacity to do it, I don't know what is. We're getting finals that are coming in. Swindon Town was able to take it down, so they're there. But I have to like that we've added 3 goals for the goal differential, because you look at the top of the table, Swindon's running away with 11. And still undefeated and a game in hand. Swindon Town. Vince Hemmingson, that's another, I'm going to add you to the list. I'm out in Poco. So beers, the Welsh, I still want to go to the Welsh. Vancouver is the home of the only Welsh hall in North America. $25 for a membership, and I want to go and have some beers. So good game for everybody. I'm happy to sit and chat for maybe another 10, 15 minutes. If I do any more than that, I'm going to probably get into trouble. I hit stop on my clock. We're not in the 98th minute. Stop running. It's not doing it. So what do I do? We just let it run, I guess. John, thanks for being here. Have a good one. If Wrexham was healthy from the top, they'd easily be top 3. I can't say that you're wrong. I mean, the MK Dons game, I think there's a lot of excitement in that one. Tough to say that we potentially couldn't have lost that one at the outset, because the MK did play that well. But I'm looking at the scores. Mansfield Towns, they're going to get their points. MK Dons is down. Interesting. Stockport's doing their thing, and to be fair, not unanticipated. Stockport expected to be up there. Get Palmer fixed, but in the interim, Fletcher's there. And so if we lost against the Dons, we're kind of in the same position anyway, and you're going to get some bad bounces and stuff throughout the league. I do want to take a chart. I said 88 points gets you to promotion and a chance at the championship, but certainly to promotion. There's been no team ever that's gotten 88 points or less and not been promoted in League Two. And so I want to see what we're at with our points, because to me that's where we start to assess where things are at. Is are we on target for that 88 points? Simon, I will be there at some point in time. I think the plan is right now talking Easter. Will that be for the Doncaster game away? Is the 26th, or sorry, the 6th, I think, of April. But then they've got Mansfield Town before that, and they've got Colchester away and FGR after that. And so I'm looking to get in there for that one. Texas, we gotcha. But I'm down for sharing beers and doing what I need to do. Manuel, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Manuel, were you from the Uruguay? Scala? Cheers. Feel free to shout out where you're from so we can add that to the list as we send it around. But yeah, we need to win half the games and draw a bunch. I just wanted to see where we were on the target, just so that we could go forward, Brendan. Upper Peninsula Uper? Upper Peninsula. Is that the Louisiana comment? I'm missing it. New Scotland. Like legitimately Nova Scotia? I was just in Halifax. Is there another interpretation for New Scotland other than Nova Scotia? Because I get to add you to the list of provinces. Love Halifax. Absolutely love Halifax. Yeah, I will make sure I make an announcement when I get over there, and I'm hoping that I can get Dale drops by so that we can get an update as to where he's at. And before you go, also, if you haven't had the chance, 429. If anybody can hit that subscribe button again and pump that one up a little bit. Looking to grow and expand this, and there's a whole bunch of toys that YouTube offers at 500 subscribers and a certain number of hours. We've hit the hours, so just waiting on the 500. And then they say it could take a week to get them once I get there. But cheers, Simon. You know what? It's exactly that, which is why I'm loving Wrexham, is I legitimately have a lead on like about 14, 15 tickets. And so it's when I go, I'm sure I'm going to want to say hi to everybody and probably have a runabout. But I appreciate it because everybody's been like, we're going to make sure you get in, and that's awesome. So I thank you for that. And Grizz, thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. Oh, it sets your day up right, doesn't it? I mean, I guess for you guys, it's the afternoon. You're halfway through the weekend, maybe a little bit, but to start a Saturday morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, over here in Vancouver with a Wrexham win, I'm in a great mood. I'm ready to go out and have a good time with the kids and just enjoy everything. This was, I guess that's the consequence is if it doesn't go well, I get out of here and nobody wants to hang out with me. Just looking at some of the scores that are still coming in and wondering if MK's still gonna, if they are gonna go down their 15th minute of extra time. 15th minute of extra time. No wonder that one hasn't finished. I was... I hit that stop button about 1 million times, Alex, and it didn't work. So I don't have any answer to what to do in that circumstance. I want to play with a couple things. The biggest thing that I want to work on, I got to figure out maybe tonight how to bring those chats, because remember, under the old platform, you could bring it and you could throw it down here. The problem was it got rid of the scoreboard, and so that's why I added up here, but now I've lost the chat. And if anybody has any suggestions, the easiest way to message me, I don't check my emails a lot, easiest way to message me is either through Facebook or follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. If I don't follow you back, message me and at me and call me names. I'll follow you back and then DM me and let me know. I'm want to get involved. Do what Jed did and make a video. Want to make some shorts? Do you want to play with Canva and make some graphics and get on the Instagram thing and do the social media hub and buzz of stuff? Look, I'm down to grow this in any way possible. You want to write articles and whether you're into journalism or you just want to express yourself, I've got avenues that are all set up. I don't have the time to get to all of them. And so by all means, if you just like coming here and having a coffee or a beer and chatting, I'm down for that. This makes me happy. So I guess with not a lot flowing through here, man of the match for this one, I guess, is Lee. Write that down, and I should probably put a watch party man of the match scoreboard together at some point in time as well. All right. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here for this one. I'm so glad that this all worked out and went together better than I expected. I thought there were going to be tech gremlins all the way through here, and it got creepy. Only had a couple. So that makes me happy. We are here tomorrow. It's a weird start time. I think it's 5:15 UK time, and however that adjusts for you guys. Who did Mark and Buddies pick for man of the match? I think it was Lee. Oh, Mark and Buddies. I didn't hear who they picked for man of the match, to be fair. But enjoy your weekend. We'll be here tomorrow for the women's match against Swansea. It's not on an app. There is a link. I'll have to try and tweet that out sometime today to make sure everybody has it. I'll also make sure that I update here. You guys are awesome. I'll see you tomorrow, potentially. If not, next Saturday. This has been the Red